Hello everyone and welcome back to Raspberry Rock. I startled the dog. Anyway, today I wanted to tell you about my Amazon store. Yeah, so let's do that. Who's your good pups? Who's your good pups? So guys, I was invited to make an Amazon store on Amazon.com. Unfortunately, Amazon.ca has not invited me to do this yet, so it's not there. It's only on the American website. But anyway, what does that mean? It means if you check out, there's a link below in the description that will take you to my Amazon store, and it's got a lot of the things in there are just stuff that I've purchased here and that I think are actually good products. If I purchase something and I don't think it's a good product, it's not in there. So these are all my recommendations. They've chosen right now to do some WrestleMania here. Hold on. So anyway, yeah, I'm going to show you some of the stuff that I've got in there, and I'm going to give you some approximate prices. The prices will change. In some cases, I couldn't find the original item, so I picked, maybe it's a newer model or the most similar thing I could find. Some cases, I didn't actually buy it from Amazon, like my Stanley here, but I bought it at Canadian Tire here in Ontario. But the same product is on Amazon, so in those cases, it's the same product. So anyway, yeah. And one of the neat things about having an Amazon store is you don't pay any more for the stuff you're getting through my store. In fact, it's the same price whether you go through my store or you go through Amazon normally and purchase stuff. But if you go through my store, then I get a small commission. You know, anywhere between 1% and 7%, I think, depending on the item. And yeah, that'll really help with stuff like, say, paying my vet bills. You know, my last vet bill for Willow was when she got the porcupine quills in her muzzle was $1,300. So yeah, that money could go a long way. So I'd really appreciate it if you actually use that. And let me start with this Stanley thing, since I've got it right here. This was $100 on Amazon, and it's pretty cool. It's a jump start system. So I used to keep this in my car. And not only is it a jump starter, it's got this handy little light on it. It's got a little air nozzle so you can pump up your tires. Let me hold it up a little bit higher. And it's got these booster cables. You turn it on. I'm full. And you can jump start your car, or you can jump start anybody's car. I don't know how many times I've used this for other people. You know, somebody will come along and say, "Hey, can you give me a boost?" And I say, "Sure." And I grab this out of the back of my car, and they're like, "What the heck is that?" Just a really handy device. It's also got a cigarette port here. It's got a USB port here, so you can use it for charging lots of things. Yeah, really handy device, and the way you charge it up is you just plug it into an extension cord. Pretty cool, and that was $100. Now this is a chainsaw sharpener, but I don't recommend it for people who are unfamiliar with doing chainsaws, because it very quickly can ruin your chain. And the way it works is you essentially plug it into a 12-volt battery. And I just happen to have this thing here, which is a 12-volt battery. So I just kind of carry this around to wherever I need it, and there you go. So it's got a little sharpener that spins really fast, and you can sit there with your chainsaw and, you know, do each spot. So those two items kind of go together. And this little guy was $27. So I've got two stainless steel pots here. They're 20-quart pots, and this is my water filtering system. And these pots are like $25 each, but they're just perfect for something like this. They're not too thick at all, but they're great for something like this. They're great for just if you need pots. So yeah, chainsaw helmet. Now there are some really expensive chainsaw helmets systems on Amazon. This one was about $65. It's got everything you need, from the hard hat. It's got the I forget what you call it on the side, the plastic bits. The ear muffs, and then the face shield. Yeah, $65, and that's worked out great. They're on there for like $400 or $300 or $400. And, I'm completely satisfied with this one. Now, some of my favorite things are in the fridge, the freezer to be exact. So these ice balls, you get a set of 2, and these are like $10 for a set. And what great little things! And I talk about these all the time in my videos. They make a nice round ball of ice. Now this. The ball of ice melts slower because it has less surface area than any other kind of ice cube. And I just love it. I can't say enough about these things. The other thing in the freezer is my gel mugs. So I'm always talking about my gel mugs. You pour your drink in there and that's going to stay cold for a long time. You'll go through 3 or 4 drinks before it kind of finally cools down a bit. But what you do then is you keep swapping it. Swapping it in another fridge each time you go for a drink. Yeah, so what I've got in the Amazon store is I've got a pack of 4 of these, and you can get that for I've got it written down here, $30 for a pack of 4, which I think is a great price, because I use these every single day. So here's something I've talked about a bit before. It's my power bank. So this is just a great big battery essentially. It's got 2 USB ports, so anything that you can charge with your through USB, you can charge with this. So your phone or your iPhone, or I've charged my GoPro through it. I've charged, I don't know, my wife's iPhone also works. As I said, anything that you can plug a USB into there. It's got a little, I don't know if you'll be able to see this, but it's got 4 lights. So those are status lights as to how charged it is. And if you hold that button down, you got a flashlight. Neat, eh? It's actually pretty bright. And to charge it, let me turn that off. So to charge it, oddly enough, so you take, well, this works with my phone's cord because it's a micro USB. You can use the same cable, the micro USB cable, and plug it in, and then charge it by USB from something else, from your computer, or if you have one of those little dealies you plug into the wall. So really happy with that, and this thing is like $39. Really happy. I've used this a lot. I could probably fully charge my phone maybe 4 times before I need to charge it up. So yeah, love that. So yeah, this fridge, believe it or not, purchased off of Amazon, $550 on the US website. In fact, this isn't exactly the same as what you'll find on my Amazon store. This one's a little bit smaller. This is about 11 cubic feet, and the one on the Amazon is 12 cubic feet. But what a delightful fridge this has been. Perfect for a cabin or a cottage or whatever. It's not a full-size fridge, but I can get everything I need to and more in there. And runs on about 80 watts. Takes less than a kilowatt hour a day. So it's been absolutely fabulous. I don't know what more I can say about a fridge. I can get everything in there I need, and beer. One thing I don't think I've talked about before is my batteries. I use batteries in my headlamps and batteries in various things here. And I exclusively use Eneloop batteries. Extreme close-up. There we go. Eneloop batteries. Made by Sanyo. And these are great. These are, they call these pre-charged batteries. They're not the usual kind of rechargeable batteries. They're more expensive. But these suckers, you can recharge them something like 2,000 times, which is amazing. So what I put in my Amazon store is I found a charger, a kit. There's a charger, I think 2 AAAs, 8 AA batteries in that kit. I've also put in just AAAs if you want them, and just AAs if you want them. So anyway, check those out. As I said, they're a little more expensive, but they will last for a very long time, and they're just excellent as far as I'm concerned for whatever I'm using them in. Yeah, so I believe the kit on there is about $42. The 4-pack, there's a 4-pack of AAAs at $12. There's a 16-pack of AAs at $42. As I said, they're not cheap, but they are going to last a long time. And interestingly, I've got them plugged into the power meter here, and these 4 AAAs are charging. They're taking 2 watts right now. 2 watts to charge those 4 AAAs. So that's when you're running on solar, that's a good thing. My LED pot lights. I've talked about these a bunch of times. I just love them. Each one of those lights is using only 9 watts of power, so 27 watts in total in my kitchen here, and they're so bright. I was going to put up a 4th one, but I put up these 3 and thought, holy crap. You know, they work just great. And what you're going to get with them is you get the light, the LED light itself, which is going to last for a long time, and then you've got your little 12-volt inverter that goes with it. So this will plug into, you can wire this into your 110-volt system at home, or you could potentially just wire it straight into a 12-volt system if you wanted to. And that's what you get. And they come with these little clips. So once you put your hole in the ceiling, these, you know, you just pull these clips, and stick it in there, and then the clips hold it in place. So very easy to install, real easy. I've installed mine in cardboard. That's how easy it was. But I just love them. So what I put on my Amazon store is a pack of 4 LED lights. I think they're soft white, and I believe they're about 60 bucks. So one of the things I put in the store is a GoPro Hero 5. Now this is a GoPro Hero 3, so I put the most recent version in there. And I use this almost exclusively for outdoor shooting. Unless I'm shooting right around here at the cabin, I'll take my other camera out. But I've used this so much, and at first it's kind of weird because there's no view screen in it, and you don't kind of know where you're aiming at. But once you get used to that and you don't worry about it anymore, it's actually got a fairly wide field of view. But it's just been great, and you know, I've left this out in this case in the rain, and this isn't the waterproof case either, for a week. It just works, so it's great. I'm not going to recommend any. There's like 100 different packages of GoPro accessories you can buy. I'm not going to recommend any in particular because I haven't been like super happy with anything I've bought. But the GoPro is a great camera. Unfortunately, they're a little on the expensive side. I think the GoPro Hero 5 was about 400 bucks. But anyway, great camera. So then there's this camera, the Canon T5i. Canon makes a great camera. I've put it through a lot of abuse, and it just keeps working fine. And no problems with it. It's probably fancier than what I really need here at the cabin for what I'm doing. But it's been great, and yeah, pretty happy with it. In my very early videos, I used those water jugs that you buy at grocery stores. And they very quickly and easily break. So then I bought these, and I talked about them in one of my videos, and I couldn't figure out how to pour it in that video, so I got pretty disappointed. But these are just excellent jugs. These, you know, you could run a tank over these things and they're not going to break. And while it does come with a bit of a nozzle, I don't use the nozzle at all. I found that if I pour like this, you know, it's not too bad. And even though it's got a bit of a handle on the bottom, but I like these, and they work really well, and I can stack them together pretty nicely, you know, for trips in. And as I said, you can drive a tank over them, and they've just been great. So these are about 20 bucks each. So for years, I was that guy who bought like cheap multi-tools. Those are cheap things you find in you know, in Ontario here, you know, Canadian tire stores, whatever. And then about 15 years ago, I got a Leatherman Juice. It was actually a trade. And goodness gracious, Leatherman makes a great product. This tiny little tool I have worn on my belt for at least 15 years now, and I've used it so much. When I was working in IT, I used it every day. It's got so many attachments on it that are just so damn helpful. So I'm not going to go through all the little attachments on here. Obviously, it's got a bottle opener. It's got a you know, a corkscrew on here. It's got the knife, and it's got a few little screwdriver attachments, which I've used a bunch. So I found a Leatherman Juice on Amazon. And I put it in my store. It's about 65 bucks. It's a much newer version, but you can't go wrong with it. It's a quality piece of work. You can't go wrong with it. I can't say enough about the Leatherman brand, so take a look at it. The Thermos. What an interesting little product this is. I just started using it about a year ago when I was still living in the shelter, so maybe a year and a half ago. It takes a little butane canister, and then it takes these little, I'm not going to take it out, but there's a little blue cartridge that just slides in there, and you turn it on, and I haven't used this in a while, so yeah, until you see a little light there. So it's on, and it kind of puts this vapor into the air. And you're not supposed to use it inside, so while I can't recommend that you do use it inside, I find that if I run it for about 20 minutes in here, there isn't a mosquito left alive in the place. If you do it outside, it drives away the mosquitoes, but inside it kills them all, and it's just great. I think this was about 22 bucks, and I've also put refills in my store as well. So this is a little folding knife here. It's made by a company called Havalon, and it works just like a normal folder, and it can clip in your pocket and open and close just like a normal folder. But the unique part is the blade itself, which is like an X-Acto blade, and it's incredibly sharp, and it's replaceable. So you buy the knife, and you get a pack of 10 blades with it, And when it gets dull, you just replace the blade. So you've always got a razor sharp blade, you know, in your knife. And I've used this for a lot of things, and I'm pretty happy with it. And now I forget what the cost of the replacements are, but I haven't had to buy them yet, because for $36 you get the knife and a 10-pack of blades, so you can't go wrong with that. So it was my neighbor that told me about it, and he was using his to skin a deer last fall, which is kind of neat. So very handy. I actually did a review on this washing machine, the Panda XPB, and while I couldn't find this exact model on Amazon.com, I found a newer version. So it's 170 bucks. And if you want to take a look at the review, I'm pretty happy with it. I think it's perfect for if you're off-grid or in small apartments or condos or something like that. It's a little more manual than your ordinary washing machine, but it beats the hell out of using the bucket and the plunger method anyway. 170 bucks. So a bat house. What a wonderful idea. Apparently a bat can eat up to 1,000 bugs in an hour or 3,000 bugs in a night, which is great when you've got lots of mosquitoes and deer flies around. I don't have any bats in my bat house. Apparently you put them up either in late fall or early spring. And this bat house is not very big. It's like, you know, maybe 6 inches across, but apparently it'll fit 12 to 20 bats in there, because they don't need a lot of space. So that was $32. Alright, so I can't say enough about Camp Suds. It's biodegradable soap. It's highly concentrated, so you don't need to use a lot. And I use it for everything from showers to doing dishes, washing clothes. Although I have bought biodegradable laundry soap since then, which is sitting around here somewhere. But you can use it for everything. I use it for cleaning up the rain barrels. So I buy a lot of it. You'll be a while going through that big jug, but since I go through so much, you know, it was a good deal for me. So take it camping or take it to your cottage or whatever. This big bottle was 66 bucks. Or you can get an 8-ounce bottle for 11 bucks. Or you can get the 4-ounce bottle for 6 bucks. Yeah, so there you go. So my buddy Ryan put me onto these, and he has a barbecue smoker channel. He knows what he's talking about. You need a temperature system if you're going to be barbecuing, and something like this is essential. So this is pretty cool, actually. This has got it's got a remote which you keep near your barbecue, and then you can have this piece inside, which is showing your temperatures. Now this remote has 2 temperature probes on it. One is for the meat and one is for the inside of the barbecue, so you can always tell what temperature your barbecue is at. Which is handy if you're going to be smoking things, or you're going to be, say, wrapping stuff in tin foil, kind of like you'd put in your oven. You need to maintain a steady temperature in here. So really handy. So one probe is just going to clip right to your grill somehow, and then the other probe obviously goes in your meat. Sorry, there's the meat one. There's the barbecue one, and it's got a bunch of settings for you know, what type of meat you're doing. You can set it to you know, what type of food you're doing. You know, whether it's pork or it's beef or it's, you know, turkey or whatever. So pretty neat. I think something like this is essential if you like barbecuing. So this is about 60 bucks on Amazon. Well guys, that's about all I'm going to talk about for today. There's probably some other stuff that I haven't mentioned, stuff on my web store that I haven't mentioned. I think I put my webcam in there, but a webcam is a webcam. I mean, it works fairly well. I got no problem with it, but you know, some stuff is just not worth mentioning, especially. So I will be adding stuff to my Amazon store. If I see things that are no longer in stock, or you know, they're out of date or off the shelf or whatever it's called, I will try and take them out as that happens and see if I can get new versions of the stuff in. Prices go up and down, so any of the prices I've mentioned here, you know, I can't honestly say they're not going to change. If you have any questions, leave them below. Hit the like button and buy some stuff. Take care, guys. I took off my shawl. I was no longer Captain Cabin Shawl. What was happening is it's a bit windy here, and as I walked around the deck, the shawl was blowing around and knocking stuff off the table. So there we go. Yeah, that's cool. Look at that. Click there. And ooh, look at that. Ooh, and that. Ooh, what about that? Ooh, I haven't seen that one in a while. Ooh, ooh, that one's the latest one. Ooh, ooh, that's cool.